we're going to do is tell me
Good evening, we're live.
Let's do a quick rewind.
Oh man.
Okay, my lovely assistant this evening has cocked it up.
I manage to cock something up every week, really, don't I? Last week it's like, then we got someone watching now. We've been doing live for the last 5 minutes in our kind of little private practice group that we do just to make sure that sound's working, audio, pictures working. And it's like, it's really quiet tonight. There's no one on. I was like, oh, you idiot. You're in the wrong group. That's
Literally, it was tumbleweed.
I'm thinking, blimey, okay, it's not normally this quiet.
Thought we'd upset everybody.
We did.
Okay, do we have anyone?
We got 2 people watching.
Okay, that's good. Is that me and you?
4 people watching.
Okay, that's not me and you.
Oh, no. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, welcome. It's Thursday evening. It's 7 o'clock. Well, it's actually 7:05.
Yeah.
It's Thursday. It's Spray Makes Sense Live.
We were on time. I was really impressed.
We were all talking and just kind of bit of tumbleweed.
Paper keeps falling down.
The reason it's falling down is because it's on spray plaster, and the spray plaster hasn't been painted yet. Therefore, it's not sealed and it's a little bit porous.
Tape never sticks to it straight away, does it?
No.
Evening, Trevor.
Guys, have we got anybody there that's not showing up?
Yeah, so where it comes up on Facebook originally to say that Ian's live, there should be a link there to eCam, and you literally just click on the link and then I can see you, because at the minute with the software that we're using, certain people I can't see.
Certain people we don't want to see.
Good evening. I can't see who that is. So, yeah. So if you can head just to the description at the beginning of the live, it should be there.
Am I going the wrong way?
Well, it's not showing on any of those, is it? Because it's not in the actual live feed. It's when it says, I'm broadcasting with eCam Live, and it's in that section there. So, yeah.
Okie dokie. What are we doing this evening, Lindsay?
What are we doing this evening? Who's our this week's show sponsor?
This week's show sponsor is the lovely people by Morrells.
They are. So what have you been doing the last couple of days?
Playing. Put nicely. Very, very professional scientific.
Playing,
yeah. Absolutely. Like 2 grown men in a sweet shop. Again, we've got the spray shop. The spray shop is a Morrells brand. So if you see anything that's got spray shop, it's the Morrells rebrandings. They own some of it, and we obviously have some of it done.
So what is that? What's that machine?
This is a little Airless assisted setup.
That stumped me because it's not plugged into the electric.
There's nothing. It's just powered by pure air.
Powered by air. It's brilliant. Really dinky machine as well. It's on wheels.
It is. It's tiny. That's why we put it up on the table. We've done a load of videos because some of the guys have got these. And the point is, Morrells and decorators and products and joiners, it's all becoming one family. We're finding that joiners want to learn more about spraying, decorators want to learn more about spraying, they want to do better spraying for joiners want to do their own stuff. It's all good. The more advancements they make for joiners, we benefit more, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of crossover. It's been really good because I obviously come from a background which is purely decorational, coming into spraying and slowly moving into joinery. And Harry has been predominantly joinery, and now they're gently coming in here.
There's nothing he doesn't know about.
Oh,
he's amazing.
And he's got a really good way of kind of getting it across, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's in no rush. He's just really lovely.
He's actually really good on camera, isn't he? Some people struggle on camera and they feel a little bit uncomfortable, but he was like, no.
You couldn't stop him, could you?
No, definitely.
He's just really passionate about the products. So,
evening, Stephen.
Do you want to run the show intro, or have we skip past that?
No, we can do show intro.
Did you have it ready?
Yeah, it's ready.
And roll.
Cool, and we're back.
And the only reason I run a show intro is because it gives me a chance to have a quick
swig of coffee.
That's about it.
Brilliant.
So tonight we're going to go through a few things, but we're going to start the show as we always do. We want a bit of interaction from you guys. We want to know what's been good, bad, and downright ugly. So we always start the ball rolling. We go through what's been good, bad, and ugly for ourselves. And then what we do is we try and get you guys to give us where you stand this week. We usually get really good ones from like Clayton. Clayton always throws up a good one.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at Frosty's comment. Yeah, that one caused a little bit of controversy, didn't it, Ian?
Which one?
The joiners spraying will steal all our work.
Oh, yes. Do you remember that one, Frosty? Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
We should only tell people... Oh, go away. Yeah.
Evening, Pete. Hi, Mark.
I'm not being funny.
Hi, Stephen.
If I had that mentality, I think you guys we would all be still bouncing around in the dark. Jack put a post up earlier, and he said if I hadn't have actually started this 5 years ago, I think a lot of us would just be kind of fumbling around having a go.
Yeah.
Now, we're still fumbling around having a go, but at least we're talking to each other and we're getting through it
and
easier.
everyone's kind of getting there a little bit quicker. I think that's the difference.
And it's a great community. Everybody's enjoying a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Frosty. Frosty, a big shout out to your... In fact, I don't think he's put it in Spray Makes Sense. If you haven't, put it in when you're ready. That's down to you. But in PTA Support, which is our group for guys that have done the training, Frosty's put up a really, really awesome spray booth.
Mm-hmm. In his workshop.
I actually showed Harry, who does all the stuff for these guys. He thought it was wicked. He thought it was a really clever idea, especially the IKEA touch. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
The storage.
So the good, the bad, and the ugly. So tell me what you guys have got, and we'll start going through ours.
So what's our good, bad, and ugly?
The good has been 2 days of doing what I absolutely love.
Playing
with paint, achieving some incredible new results, understanding machines, understanding products, playing with products, understanding them more, getting to grips with them, and technically only touching the tip of the iceberg. So for me, it's been really, really good. Mm-hmm. One of the other good aspects, which kind of rolled into this, was we did our first fine finish course on Saturday.
First official one.
We had Scott Anderson fly all the way down from Scotland, bless him. Yeah. Stayed with us for 2 days. Absolute pleasure. Top fella, really into it. Just going in the right direction. I absolutely love it when I see these guys just gently taking it in the right direction. The fine finish course was brilliant. It went far better than we anticipated. And the point of the course, and everybody agreed, was instead of companies trying to flog you shit and get you to upgrade to the next best machine, whether it be HVLP, compressor, the whole point of the course was quite simply, whatever you've got, we'll teach you how to get the best out of it. And therefore, instead of spending money, make money.
We got to meet Victor as well.
Vic was hilarious, wasn't he?
He was funny. Him and Bob were just so funny together. Really funny.
The two oldest fellas, and they kept slagging each other off. It was really, really funny. Yeah. It is actually really good fun. We have such a buzz down here.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Colin's noticed your haircut.
What, Mr. Bid?
Yep.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I missed you. I haven't seen you today. It seems to be our regular, like two old ladies meeting for a coffee. You kind of blew me out. So I feel a little bit, I don't know.
Well, John says, have you not seen Reese's hairy back? Now that's ugly. Yeah, no, we haven't had that pleasure, have we?
No, it looks like, when he takes his coat off, it looks like he's wearing a fur coat.
Oh, we got Bob on as well. Evening, Bob.
Mr. Pickett.
Yep.
Bob was great. Bob's stalking me at the moment.
We'll be seeing Bob and the boys on Sunday. Go.
Yeah, so he's coming out on Sunday to do the City and Guilds conversion course. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Right, the bad. What's the bad? It's really hard sometimes. All right, last week was a bad week. It was a funny week last week, wasn't it? A lot of people, I think it was just one of those funny weeks.
Perhaps it was just the weather.
What's been bad for us is some people might look at this as a positive. We don't, because we're too busy.
It's never enough time.
No, and we're down to a 3-day week. Mm-hmm. So we obviously missed Monday, although it was quite nice. But work-wise and everything else was quite hard. I wanted to try and get on site. I wanted to start another job this week. No chance. I wanted to price up 2 jobs. Not had a chance. And that leads on to the ugly, is the fact that the reason it's a 3-day week is because we've got to be up about 4:30 tomorrow.
Yep.
Get to the airport, fly off to Ibiza, sun it up for the weekend, large it big. We're not off to Ibiza, are we?
Oh, we're not off to Ibiza, no.
No, we're not. Where are we going?
We're going to sunny Scotland.
Very
It's
similar.
not quite Ibiza.
It's very similar. It's the northern Ibiza,
Do you think?
apparently.
Yeah.
Or is that Newcastle?
I'm not convinced.
Okay.
Evening,
So-
Damien.
Evening, guys. We're off up to Scotland for Friday, Saturday. So Friday we've got some meetings, so we're quite excited about that. Potentially bringing some good things to Scotland. So yeah, that should be really good. Hopefully we've got more to talk about next week.
Colin says, Steve's on holiday, I'm in charge. Lost money this week, giving stuff away. Oh dear, you're too nice, Colin.
Stick with the biscuits. Just give biscuits. Steve's very good. He'll give you loads of chocolates. He'll give you your heroes and everything else, but he does not give away free paint.
Yeah. Oh, John, bad. I'm not going to repeat. Well, he didn't actually say it. Dry liners.
Oh, okay.
I think Pete prefers the idea of Ibiza. Perhaps we ought to do that next time, Pete.
Oh, could you imagine Pete giving it large in Ibiza?
Yeah, the PaintTech AGM in Ibiza. That'd be fun.
Oh, could you imagine Pete and Damien literally rocking up?
Yeah. So we're flying into Edinburgh, and we're staying in Leith, I think.
And then what we're doing on Saturday is we're meeting up with Craig.
Yeah.
We've got a deal with Craig. Again, some of it business, some of it fun.
And then back home late Saturday evening.
To run a City and Guilds conversion course.
Yep.
And the reason we call it a conversion course is because we've had a lot of people do the courses already with us. They've done 2-day intensive. So what they're doing is they're coming back for 1 day to do a refresher, and then their practical assessment, and then their written exam. And if
You're
they're
not allowed
passed,
to call it an exam, it's an assessment.
well, it's written an exam on the paperwork.
No, it's not. It's called written assessment on the paperwork, because it goes to show how much you read.
Okay, I don't do the paperwork. I just do all the good stuff. So they're coming down for that. Some people have been talking about the digital credentials that the guys have put up. What they've done, which I completely get, they're really excited. They've got a City and Guilds badge for spraying. Jack's got a gold one if you've seen it, because he is by far the oldest certified sprayer.
The most experienced
spraying MacGyver you'll ever meet. And he's got a gold one. It's all special because he is the oldest one ever. So people have been asking about it. What is it? The guys have put a photo up of their City and Guilds badge, which is fantastic. But that was just a photo. Lindsay's going to put up a link.
Yeah, I can do that on here.
She's going to put up a link, and what that is for you guys, if you're not sure, it's actually the company that hosts all the stuff for City and Guilds. And what it is, it's got our digital credential. This isn't a pissing contest, all right? This is for customers, all right? This is business. This is for us to have the edge above our competitors. That's what business has always been. So for us, yes, everybody's now spraying. I mean, Jesus Christ, everybody's not copying, that's unfair. Copying names, copying logos, copying ideas and everything else, which is great. And they'll copy, obviously, the City and Guilds badge.
At the end of the day, these are digital credentials. So anybody that's got this logo, unless it's on a certificate with the City and Guilds badge and their name on it, it doesn't count. So
they can't even click it. They can't even get to the actual credentials to tell you what they've actually achieved within the course.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you click on the link, it should have the person's name within the post, and if you click on the link, it takes you to the details of the actual course that they've done. Like I say, it has got their name in it. So if it hasn't got the person's name, then it's not them that's done it.
Either way, we are excited about it. We should be. We worked hard for it.
Yeah.
And it is the difference of hopefully putting us apart from the next. So really excited about it, and we've had a lot of inquiry, and it's going to change. Yeah, it's going to change things, which is what we wanted it to do.
Yep.
So,
no, it's been
cool. What's the news? We've got a little bit of news.
Yeah, there's not much in the news. Every week we kind of have a look around just to see what's going on, if there's anything different or unusual.
The one that sparked, hey, no pun intended, one that sparked my interest, because it's linked to all of this, is painters blow up house. Okay, have we got a photo up there?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, do I want to do both of it? Okay.
Cheek.
Painters blow up a house. In Texas, early last month, something like 6th of April I was reading, painters blew up a house, a $1.7 million house burnt to the ground. And it happened because they were spraying lacquers. Some form of solvent lacquer, they're not exactly sure which. It's either acid cat, pre-cat, whatever the version is in the States, but they were spraying solvent-based lacquers.
The whole house was being renovated, wasn't it?
Yep. So what they did was they filled the house with the fumes. We know that this stuff gases off and keeps gassing off, and it can gas some of the products up to 7 days. Somebody, they reckon, turned a switch on, the spark, just like filling the house with gas, literally blew up the house. 2 of the painters were injured. Luckily, nobody was injured badly, just burns. Well, it's bad enough, but the point is
not
that
life-threatening.
I didn't know about this until I was watching one of Chris Berry's lives, probably tail end of last week, and he was talking about a course that he's got up and coming at the PaintTech Academy, which is cabinets. He calls it cabinet. I'm not sure exactly what cabinet painting or cabinet restoration or something. Maybe. And he was talking about it. He was doing just a quick video, and he was explaining that he'd seen this, and I think he'd already started to think about the change anyway, because prior to that, speaking to him last year and watching what he was doing a lot of cabinet spraying on site with lacquers. Yes, he had extraction, and yes, he had a lot of plastic and everything else, but
like created a booth basically, didn't he?
Listening to him, last week, he was talking about the fact that they're now using Renner, okay, which is, I think Renner comes from Italy. We were talking to Symphony the other week.
Well, it's a product that Sherwin-Williams sell, isn't it?
No, well, yeah, in America, yeah. So, and it's purely water-based.
Is Renner only water-based systems then, or the majority?
We've not gone into it enough. I know some of you guys have been dealing with Renner. I've seen some of the posts. There's a gentleman called Darren, who, again, if you want to...
Is Darren on Spray Makers?
Yep,
I think
because I tagged him in, didn't I?
Yeah, of course you did.
I tagged him in last week for a product. So what I'm saying is, in America, this has happened. You know, the shit's hit the fan, and you can imagine all of the lawyers are going to have a field day.
Well, we've always spoken about not spraying anything like that on site. We've always been predominantly water-based.
We have tried pre-cap, but it just feels, I understand the logic of pre-cap, but me, within my background of doing decorative arts for so long, we always sprayed water-based, okay? Because we didn't like putting acrylic-based scumbles over solvent-based eggshells because we'd just get sissing, and it was just a nightmare. So we moved to acrylics very, very early on. In fact, one of the paints we used to use a lot was Cuba, which we used to use as what we would call a conversion primer, which you guys would probably think of Tikkurila, Ortex Aqua, Ortex Aqua, So the point is, I was talking to Harry, and I'm chatting about obviously Morrells and their systems, obviously starting from the top, polyurethane, acid cat, pre-cat, and then down into water-based. And I'm like, so do you think water-based is ever going to take? And he was absolutely shocked with my remark. He was like, well, why would you want to spray something that is massively calcigenic like PU? Great, fine, it dries quick, it's hard, and everything else. The research and the testing they're doing, they're finding that the acrylics, and this is the guys at Morrells, the main technicians, the testing and everything else they're doing, they're finding that the acrylics are just as hard as PUs. Fine, they don't go off as quick, but when you start using infrared baking systems, they do go off, and they go off very quick. So the thing that we're asking you guys tonight is, quite simply, those guys that have been on the furniture course here, every one of you has asked me this. Lens, can we achieve...
It's hard to...
There you go, that's got it.
Yeah.
Can we achieve the ultimate high gloss wet look with a water-based system? Okay. One of these is polyurethane. and one of these is water-based. Okay? Any idea which? This is out to you guys. Which one do you think? One of these was actually created today, and one of these was created 6 months ago.
It's really hard to tell from those pictures, to be fair, which was which.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So there you go. There's the...
Night, John. Have a good night in.
See you later, mate. So again, what I'm trying to say is, today, we have actually created on bare MDF, high gloss, water-based, wet look. Harry was chuffed to bits. He's been trying it and testing it and everything else, and now they've got it. They haven't changed anything massively. It's just the system, and it works. We're going to do this in multiple colours, and we're going to really get this sussed. It's far easier, obviously, on this kind of stuff rather than trying to get it on something that's slightly more on there. Okay.
Which was the water-based one then?
Okay. Anybody have any suggestions?
Yeah, a couple of people have said.
Okay. Do you know what?
Said your left.
Okay, it's easier for me to show. Okay, so here you go. Right, which one is water-based?
Someone said water-based on the right.
That one. Okay.
Yeah. Evening, Scott.
So my left, your right is the water-based.
This one, right.
Okay. So what we started with was 18mm MDF. The 501 primer, which I must admit I have used, but I must have not quite got it right, because this feels completely different today than when I've used it.
Yeah.
It just feels completely different. I mean, that's 2 coats and it's absolutely, yeah, amazing.
What did we do? Did we do anything different?
Yeah, I think, I'll come back to this in a minute. I think this is where the airless assisted and conventional all kind of play a part in its own way. And then this is, I don't know whether you can see this, the difference, but this is, this is the one with the gloss. Okay, I'm trying to get the light there. Okay, this has got 3 coats of gloss. Okay, water-based gloss. It's not going to discolour. It's going to stay white. But the thing is with it, it has to be 3 coats, because what you do is you have to cut it with a cutting compound, technically like teacup. And then what you have to do is polish it. And that's when we get to this stage. The only thing that's missing off this is they have a spray that they put over that actually just stops greasy finger marks.
Yeah, that's what we need to look at next, isn't it? What's it called? Shield.
Yep. So we're going to do lots of stuff with these products now that we get into grips with it. The point is, we can now start delivering on site. This is what blew Harry, was the fact that everything we've done here can be achieved on site. You don't need this, okay? You don't need extraction. You don't need any of it, because we're pulling right away from anything that is of a lethal nature. Don't get me wrong, I think there's going to be a place for it, and there probably will be for quite a long time. Just like there's a place for oil-based, okay? But you can all feel that phasing away, and it's been phasing away for, what, 10 years now. So actually phasing this stuff out, yeah. What happens when Brexit and everything, and we've got our own kind of ideas of what we're going to do, then I think, you know...
that will make a blind bit of difference,
I don't know. It doesn't matter. My point is, we don't have to spray the pre-cat. Oh yeah, pre-cat's great. And I know some of you guys are using pre-cat. We've dabbled with it, but the more we're playing with this, and I've done a lot of testing with the pre-cat on site, it's good. But we actually lose time with pre-cat because it's harder to sand. It's just harder.
When you see some of the finishes that you can get with water-based as well, the only downside obviously is the dry-in time sometimes, but there are options there as well, aren't there?
There is. But what we're going to be working on is, now that we're kind of getting set up more, you guys asked me about Airless assisted. I don't really go into it because I don't think we're at that stage. We want to master. We've mastered the Airless. We've now got the Airless as the benchmark. We've brought in the conventional, so now we're using obviously the guns and the pressure pots on the fine finish course. And now what we've got is airless assisted. Not necessarily just this one. This airless assisted will get sussed out and mastered. I mean, I was tweaking it more from a decorational perspective of trying to bring it in, whereas this has always been used in a workshop environment with extraction. So, you know, Harry was spraying it with loads of overspray, and I'm like, look, I can't have that. I want to spray in someone's house. So we'll be using this, then we'll be using the SF23, so we'll be using that with a diaphragm pump and obviously a gentillin. We'll be using a Tritech T4 with a hopper, and the gentillin. We'll be using the Mini Beast. So we're going to really mix it up. I mean, really mix it up until we kind of feel that we've got it sussed. We'll use standard tips, swivel tips. We'll use flat tips. We'll use Greco G40. We'll use the Wagner 4600, and we'll also be using the Spray Shop, obviously signature range, which is what they've got as well, which technically is, I think, is a Kremlin. So there's lots of things we're going to be messing around with.
Someone was saying, would you guys be happy using water-based for tables? I mean, Harry
After what I've seen today, yeah.
Harry was saying that their water-based range that they've got, that we've got here, is within their high usage range. So he said you wouldn't have a problem.
The scary thing, I'm trying to find out some good, big names. I'm trying to find out some big names that do, let's say, kitchens and stuff that you would recognise, and they're all moving over to water-based. Mm-hmm. Because of the legislation of being able to spray the BLC.
It's not just that. With water-based, you can use normal masks as well, can't you? Rather than needing sort of air-fed or direct air-fed masks.
Yeah, just literally a MIDI with water-based is fine. And there is 2 pack water-based systems coming as well. Well, there is some out there already.
Yeah, Warren's saying, I've been locked in a bedroom all day painting with oil, windows shut to keep the flies out. My eyes are stinging and I was buzzing and need to move over to water-based double quick on my jobs. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason, Warren, why you wouldn't be able to use. We've always got really good finishes with water-based.
We have, but we've really focused obviously on the water-based stuff, as in like spraying it. And it is interesting because this is an air mix, whereas airless is quite clearly airless. So people say, oh, I don't want to use airless because you're going to get too much overspray. We actually get less overspray with an airless than we do with anything else.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can dial these down really, really tight, which is what I'm going to do in a second. But I've got to play with it. I've got to master it. I've literally had this here for, we've only played with this a few hours because we've been focused massively on product. We've been talking about, obviously, what the numbers mean. I'll go through that. These numbers are really quite complicated until you realise that what you're after first is just the first number, and the only one that you're interested in, okay, if you like us, is it has to have an 8, and 8 means it's water-based.
So that's the range, isn't it? The first number is the range.
So if you've got 9, I think it's something like a pre-cat, you know, etc., etc. But the only one we're interested in is 8. So we've got 8, 8, 8. They're all water-based, okay? Then what we've got is 30, okay, is sheen level. So that's 30% sheen. This one's slightly different because that is an actual...
that's just a
it's a base.
Yeah.
That's what they would put their tint in.
That's just a standard white base, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the 2 is for 20%. Okay, but forget that. It's this one more so. Forget the 3 because that's just something to do with, I don't know, something that goes in it. So he just said ignore that.
It was the kind of thinner that's used.
Forget it.
Something like that.
Okay, and then what you're after is, which was really good, is the 36.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the matting agent.
The matting agent. 36, okay, is the solids, percent solids volume. Okay, and then the B is the size, B, C, and D or something, or A, B, C. One is
A, B, and C, wasn't it?
5 litres, 1 litre, 5 litres, 20 litres. So it wasn't actually that bad. He's saying, look, cut out these. Like that to me, okay, double O is 00, means that it's a primer. Okay, an acrylic primer, okay, and that's that 501. I don't know what the 501, because that's not 50. Oh, 50% solids.
50, yeah.
50% solids in a 5 litre.
That's their kind of high solid primer, isn't it?
So I'm a little bit better with it. I won't say I'm massively conversant, but it was a lot easier. It's just that then Harry started throwing even more numbers at me.
It does get a bit complicated.
It
but,
does.
You know.
Okay,
They know
you
what
want to
they're
see the
chatting
spray?
about.
I want to see it spray. I've dialed it in. By no means have I perfected this. I've only got one tip. And believe it or not, the tip that they're giving me, in my view, is slightly too big. And I've said that I want the full range that they do. And then I want to actually find out who makes them and see if there's any other ranges that I want. Because it's all for joinery shop, and I actually want to be able to take it on site. I sprayed these earlier just to see. So I'm going to just do a little bit on paper.
What have you got in the machine at the minute? The primer?
Just the primer. Mm-hmm. I think I've got enough in there. It uses very little. So just bear with me with the noise. Anybody who knows that knows it's a gentleman. And if you, I was surprised 2 guys were actually asking about him at the weekend, which was really good for Mike, because Mike's the guy that we use for it, Sprayman. That's lovely.
So yeah, so you've just got to play with, one's the amount of paint, so it's pressure like it would be with an Airless, and then the other one's the amount of air, isn't it?
That's your fluid, and that's how much air, so that's the mix. Okay, it'll always look small until you pull the trigger, and then it'll drop down. Mm-hmm. Okay, but again, a lot of people, even today I had a phone call about, someone was asking me about Airless assisted and training and courses. It's coming, but I'm in no rush. I'm just never in a rush to get anything done. I'm just going to do this door quick.
John, I thought you would go in. Can't stay away. Warren, it's a air-fed machine, so it's not 110 or 240. It's just whatever power your compressor is.
It's very nice. It is very nice.
It's a nice product, that primer, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes off quick as well.
It's quite a thin product as well, so you just have to be a little bit quicker with it.
This is the stuff with the viscosity of it. Okay. Okay, back to twirly from last week.
So we've modified the twirly, haven't we, a little bit, and put a longer pole on it.
Yep, because I'm getting old.
It doesn't twirl quite so well though, does it?
It's not a twirly anymore. It's just
a twirl.
It's just a twirl. It's all right now. Look.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's not bad now.
It's not. We got some kitchen doors to spray from a carpenter. You can't see that. You have to come down. That's it.
It's got that funny little ridge. Look.
Yeah. So we've got to get in there and make sure that feels good as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got to test the door of this, and that has obviously been done in a workshop, hasn't it, with like a PU or something. But be interesting to see what finishes we can get. No, John, I don't want you to go. You said you were going and then you were back. If you're going to do another one, you need to move the twirly so that you can spray the other way.
What, this way?
Yeah, because otherwise you can't really see.
Okay. My bum look big in this.
Yeah, if they could hear you with the mask on. Now you've got to try and multitask and open a door.
Keep talking to him.
You can talk. So yeah, so we've got a few of these doors that we're going to do. Is this like an add-on to an existing kitchen or something? Because there's not that many doors. Well, there are.
I'm not quite sure. Just a carpenter man of mine that said, "Could you?" And I went, "Yes." And he went, "Thank you."
These?
So we did. And that's how it started.
So it'd be interesting if we're going to try and use a completely water-based system, see what that's like compared to the door that we've got in there.
Yeah, the door is PU. I knew it was PU. I put it in front of Harry. He looked at it. Top tip.
We've done that.
Oh.
Only one that wasn't.
Yeah, but they might not remember. They might not remember. Do you want me to do this door from the side?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Carpenter is obviously quite happy with the fact that we're painting it with water-based, is he?
He doesn't care. Really doesn't. You know, he just wants to finish.
Oh, okay.
All right, are we good?
Yeah. Did you turn it off? Schoolboy error.
Yeah.
So what Harry was chatting about, wasn't he, was getting 2 coats of paint on. So get the next coat on an hour later.
In all fairness, today when we were using it, we actually went back and forth. So we obviously cross-hatched. But what I'm trying to do on this one is just get the first one, because we found it was, when it goes in the Pro Rack drying, it's got a little, I don't know what, 20 degrees
tilt,
angle.
hasn't it? Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that one there, okay, because I just want to see how quick it flashes off, just as one coat before we start. Again, to get this kind of finish, it's going to be more coats. I mean, oh my God, yeah. I think one company down here were charging something like for a door, something like 185 quid just for, spraying one door.
But it is like 5 coats, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have to build up the primers first.
He was saying the primers are the key, really, aren't they?
Yeah, to get the fibres down. They're actually working on another product which hopefully is really good, which might even help even further with kind of keep the fibres in.
Yeah.
So that in itself is really good. It's a dinky little machine. It runs on air. It needs a little bit of plane. I can feel a little bit of air in the air.
Air in the air? Overspray in the air.
Overspray in the air. So, but overall, it's on a little cart. We could take it on site. I think you've seen my kitchen that we sprayed. I haven't done a full video of it yet, but we sprayed that just with our little M4 diaphragm machine with the Gentilin, and we got incredible finishes, didn't we? Very quick. I mean, really quick. Like everything, because I'm into it, I will play with it, but I actually really like it. I know some of you guys are using all sorts of stuff that go off like a rocket, ISFs and everything else. It's fine, I ain't got a problem with that. Me, personally, moving forward through the academy, I'm water-based. I'll work hard to master it. We will be, I don't think the word's controversial, I think we will just stick with these companies, because the more I'm listening to the companies, they're not putting any technology into this stuff. Some of the core ingredient is getting very, very low. Yeah. So water-based is by far, the most. Don't get me wrong, there's still chemicals within. So
there will be, because there's still drying agents, matting agents, and all sorts, isn't there? But they're not carcinogenic. Well, at the moment, there's nothing in there, is there? That's
now they've got to hit new targets now.
And you just need a particle air mask, don't you? So the A1P2s and stuff.
What we're going to work on, this is the other thing as well, is we were talking about the fact that, like Frosty with the extraction, there's an element of calculation and everything else. We're going to talk to a couple of companies that we've been in touch with about your spray booths and extraction. With water-based, talking to Harry and everything Everything's through paper filters. You don't have to have the distance. Doesn't have to be bomb-proof. Doesn't have to be phase 3. You know, everything just becomes slightly simpler, more portable, and cheaper. Because and you can pump it straight outside. You can put it through a paper filter, but you can pump it outside. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff. But again, we'll get all the right info on that. We just look at it and think, if I can achieve this in water-based and you guys can't tell the difference, and neither can I, happy days.
And it's as hard wearing.
And I can do it on site. To do that, I would need literally, a full-on spray booth with designated air-fed mask. Okay? I'd rather die of sunburn laid on a beach in Ibiza than laid in a bed coughing up my lungs because of cancer.
You don't do laying on a beach, but you do burn.
I do burn, but what a way to go. What a way to go.
Chilling with a, I don't know, rum runner.
A rum runner, yeah. Laid on the beach in Grand Cayman. There you
nice.
go. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, this is where we stand with it. We're going to play with it. We're going to design another course because we're listening to people all the time.
We've been talking about it for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah. We've got the fine finish course, which is HVLP conventional spraying on site pretty much. And if you've got a garage or a unit, that's great. But the next level we want to do is actually what we're going to call a joinery course, module 1, okay, which is purely water-based systems. Okay, and it's going to be purely to do with a compressor. So therefore, with a conventional gun and airless assisted.
You mean module 2? We've already got module 1.
Module 1 is on-site joinery spraying, on-site furniture spraying. This is a joinery one. So what we name it is one thing, but we get a lot of inquiries from joiners that want something that they can actually spray within their workshop. But I've had one tonight for me about questions. And I said, yeah, but you will always have to have an element of being able to spray on site. You know, if you want to be the best firm out there, you've got to be able to do both. And the only way to really do that is through waterborne systems. Doesn't mean that if we get the extraction and everything else sorted, that we won't actually do, let's say, module 2 and module 3, which would be more solvent-based. Ideally, we'd like not to have to do that, but we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. So, any questions for the guys?
No, I've been chatting about DS25. John's film crashed. Niagara Falls. Oh, John's got to go. The stream's back up again. Night, John.
See you later.
Bob's saying he's thinking of getting the Graco HVLP Turbo Force 2. Lots of dough though.
If that's what you think you need, then, you know, my position is not to try and sway or shift you into a particular, it's just educate you on what we can educate you on with what's put in our hands. So at the moment, our focus obviously is on product, certain machines.
Warren's saying he's using an eco porcelain paint next week. I think you might have come across it. Any good?
The eco is good. That's the Icelandic ones.
Right.
Morrells actually do eco as well. Okay. We dealt with eco when we were dealing with Raymond.
Oh, okay.
This is
doing
what?
Decorative arts.
Well, how old's Alana?
13.
13. So 13, 14 years ago we were dealing with it.
Right.
That's how long they've been around.
Wow.
They're an Icelandic paint. Very, very low on VOCs, I believe. A bit like Mythic.
Well, if they're an eco paint, I suppose they would be, wouldn't they?
But yeah, they were very much like Mythic. And I believe someone said Mythic was actually meant to be coming back.
Oh, really?
So watch this space.
It's interesting then.
It is. I think we've got some great products on the market at the moment.
There are a lot of good products. I think that's the thing. There's so much choice. There's so much choice at the minute. You know, it's perfect, but it is also confusing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Morrells are solely woodwork, kind of woodwork and joinery paints, aren't they? So at least that.
For us, it's the crossover. Would we use these on this door? I don't know, maybe, but they're saying that it's going to be really hard to obviously get the polish in these areas. These runs, by the way, were already on.
They can't see them, you've just pointed them out.
Okay, that's fine.
There were quite a few when we were messing around with the lacquer yesterday, weren't there?
Yeah. So again, we've played with all sorts, the lacquers and everything else. So it's been really, really interesting 2 days, to be honest with you. Head's a little bit fried.
Yeah.
I was meant to go home yesterday and make some notes. By the time I got home, I think I was just gobbledygook. So it's a lot to take in. It takes a lot of time. You know, I spend a lot of time away from my decorating business to try and get this stuff right.
Well, we haven't been on site apart from to drop off paint at all this week, have we?
No. So I've got a job to start next week. So that's the residential that we've got to do, and we've got three jobs to price at the moment.
That's interesting. Rishi is who Warren's dealing with. So Rishi owns Raymond.
No, he didn't. Raymond owned Raymond.
Rishi was the manager, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't believe he's still there after all those years.
Warren, if you do, mention my name.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I knew Rishi. Rishi put me in touch with a guy that we used to work with, a guy called Henry Van der Viber. So I worked with Henry. We kind of had I suppose, like a gentleman's agreement for a few years. So we had like a joint business, and we did a lot of really good work. And we parted ways, and I moved more into spraying. You
did the polished plaster courses with Rishi.
Rishi started dealing with a product called Safra. And at very early days, me and one of my guys went out to Verona, and we did training with Safra. We then started to do Italian plaster. Then we met Henry. We started to do some collaboration work. And then we did even more Safra. I think I went to Verona 3 times in the end to do training.
I know that much.
But yeah, Rishi's top fella. But yeah, Rayman in Fulham Road. I don't know whether he's got any more shops.
Don't know.
Mate, it's a big world. It's a small world. Everybody knows everybody when you've been around a while. When you're as old as what we are. Okay, that's why I like hanging around with Jack, because I actually feel like a kid.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Jack's just joined the party. He said, "Sorry, I'm a bit late, peeps."
That's fine, mate. We've been doing all sorts. We're down in Exeter next week because we're actually running a City and Guilds intensive weekend course. So all the decorators that actually want to do the weekend course, they are now getting their City and Guilds accreditation over the top of it, which is awesome.
Apparently Warren's already mentioned, he said you was a lovely bloke.
Ah,
bless.
Yeah.
So
I don't throw him money, do I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I didn't put up the picture of so we're going to do the competition for the gun, aren't we? We're going to do it in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Do you want me to grab it?
Yeah, go get it. I'll see if I can put the photo up that I downloaded of it earlier as well. So,
to be honest with you, the hardest thing we find is, although we love doing these competitions, we're so busy that Lindsay forgets to send the stuff. It's not because we're tight and we can't be asked to send the stuff. If anybody wins a competition, please reach out to us. All right, buggers, just private messages, do whatever, because when we leave here, we've got 4 kids at home that probably haven't been fed. We've got a dog that needs feeding. We've got to pack a bag ready for the morning, and then we've got to wake our son up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive us to the airport.
I've got print paperwork for the conversion course on Sunday.
Yeah, so we've got quite a lot on top of what we're doing. And when we finish here, we do another half an hour at least in PTA support. So
yeah,
my apologies. It's not because we can't be asked to send it. It's because we just genuinely forget. I literally sat there. John did a question last week for the clean shop. One of the guys won it. I can't remember his name. Ricky, something like that. Ryan, there you go. Again, we are. Boom! Have that. Boom. Okay. Ricky won it last week.
Ryan.
I know.
And it's still sat on my dining table.
It's still sat on the dining table.
Yeah.
Along with paperwork everywhere.
Yeah.
Kids' revision work. Our dining table is just like a big office table. Okay, so our lovely friends at Sprayman UK, okay, is giving us one of these to prize off. So we will work out what the prize is. We'll work out a date.
What the prize is. We need to work out what the question is.
And the prize is, okay, we will work out. I'll speak to Mike. Mike can set the question on this one.
Okay, perfect.
So Mike's not here tonight. He's got a prior engagement.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to drop him in it.
No, because his wife might not know.
Mrs. Nash, I'm really sorry I didn't know anything about it.
You might be storing it in a
Okay,
garage.
fine. Okay.
So if we say we're going to run that, 2 Thursdays time?
Yeah. Okay, we'll put the date up. We'll actually do some promo for it, and we'll send out some messenger bots to get you guys looking at it. The gun is awesome. I like it. Yeah. That's all I can say. Why do I like it?
Just feels comfy.
Yeah, it's a good gun. Longevity? Don't know. You know, people are saying, what do you reckon? I said, well, look, leave it with me for 6 months, maybe 12 months. Then I'll talk to you.
Wait till it's covered in paint. And
at the moment, I like it. I like the fact that I can clean it. Everything's good. It's very light. It's quite ergonomic.
Mm-hmm. Jack reckons he knows where he is.
Who?
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's down his way-ish.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, no, everything's good. Any questions, gentlemen? Ladies?
No. Warren calls Rishi Lionel Rishi.
Pardon?
Warren calls Rishi Lionel Rishi.
Lionel Rishi, yeah, it was a wood. He's a bit like that. So, no, everything's good. Cleaning out the machine's very straightforward on this.
Presumably it's very similar to running an Airless with a hopper.
It is. I mean, literally, I put next to nothing in it. It just goes a long way. The product just goes a hell of a long way when you actually.
Sounds really quiet. Apart from when the compressor's running, the actual machine is really quite quiet. Isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I'm off temp. No, I won't. I'll leave that. I was going to give it another, but I think I'll wait to see if the guys on PTA want me to run through anything with it, and if not, then I'll clean out the machine.
Yeah.
But it's I think these are about 1,300, 1,500, something like that.
Yeah, it's 1,350 plus VAT, I think was what Jack was saying it is. Yeah,
it's very simple, I say very simple, clearly not, but it is a dinky little machine. I was expecting something a lot bigger because I've seen the Kremlin version and they're like way up here.
Comes with the bracket so obviously it goes on the wheels, but it also comes with a bracket that fits on the wall as well.
Yeah, it's got a quick release. So you literally just take 4 little screws off and just fix it on the wall. And
you can have it as with a suction hose, can't you? And with the hopper as well. So
but
you've got both options.
Yeah, for me I mean, don't get me wrong, if you had something and you were spraying a lot of these, you would just get a 20-litre drum, drop it in and just spray. So there's pros and cons to all of it. My point is, it's pros and cons.
It's options.
It is options, yeah. And I'm saying to people, where do you want to be in 12 months? I think that's the biggest difference. We ask where you want to go, not what you want to buy. So, I mean, some of the companies are really good, but I do think some other companies literally just want to try and get the sale. And they would get the sale if they just, in my view, if they just kind of, I suppose, give you independent advice and let you go away and make your own decisions. And technically, you would come back because you would have more faith in them. But that's just, I suppose, the way we look at it.
Presumably, the 1,350 is just the base price, not including the hopper. It obviously comes with the gun and the
I think the hopper's additional, like all the ones we do.
Yeah.
And we usually find that most hoppers are about 150, 200 quid. Or at least for Airless they are. So maybe
it's a similar hopper to the Airless, to be fair, isn't it? It's like the one.
It's a bigger one. It seems bigger.
It's a 6 litre.
6 litre. Oh yeah, 7.5 for some of those, aren't they? Of course they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you'd ever put 6 litres in it. I mean, I think we'd put like a litre of tops in. Because the thing is as well, cleaning it out is very, very straightforward. And he's also talked a lot about cleaning agents.
Yeah.
Which was really, really interesting. I'll do that for a whole different night because, yeah, it's just a whole different conversation.
It was like using acetone, because acetone will work with water. It doesn't.
Let me drag the video off of him explaining because it is quite like.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And it works, and why it works. It's the only one that will go through solvent and water, and then vice versa.
So we've done a series of videos, haven't we? Including putting the machine together and then spraying with the lacquer and the primer.
Yeah, some of the figures. We talked about the 3M pots.
Yeah.
We've talked about the gun, the tips. We've done a lot, and I think we've only just we could have done more.
Yeah, but we're sort of building a collection, aren't we?
Yep.
Of videos.
Those videos will be when we get to a point of getting someone. My daughter leaves in about 4 weeks, and we're trying to find what we call a content creator, someone who will do video editing for us. Very hard. So if you know of anyone in and around our area, then put them in touch. Ideally, someone like a school leaver, because they're really good at social media. They'd be really good on the computer. They'd be really good at video editing. So again, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Anything
else, Linz?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, we're going to tidy up a little bit. We've got, how many people we've got on Saturday? 5?
5.
We've got 5 people on Saturday to, hopefully they all do their homework. Hopefully they do their homework and they're ready for the conversion.
Yeah.
Cool, right. Scotland for the next 2 days.
Yep.
We'll probably try and do some live. If not, we will just be having lunch, drinking beer, chilling.
That'd be quite nice. I like that idea.
I'm talking business.
Not move too far from the hotel, because otherwise Pete's got to drive.
Yeah, Pete won't like that.
No, he won't.
No. Cool. Right. Have yourselves a lovely weekend.
Enjoy.
And we will catch up with you this time next week.
We will do.
Catch you later.
Guys. See
ya.
Bye.
Bye.